This is lesson 8.8. It is finding a part of a group using a unit fraction. So first you have to know what is a unit fraction. It is one out of something. So if you have a group of something, it's one part of that group. So unit fractions almost pretty much always have a 1 in the numerator. So first, math can never be learned by watching. So get a piece of paper so you can follow along and do it. And pause it, try it, and then come back and check your work. So with word problems, ignore the numbers at first. Just ask yourself, what is the question wanting me to do? So I bought a box of chocolate. Some of them were almond. How many of them were almond? So there's 15 in the box. 1/3 of them are almonds. A fraction is not telling me an actual number, it's telling me a relationship between a part and all of the amount. So it's telling me 1 out of every 3 is going to be an almond one. So how do I model that? We'll model it first, and then the next parts you'll do it without a model. So start looking for patterns in how this works. First, I only have 15, so I'm going to model 15 chocolates. So always start with how much you have. Then go back to the question. It's telling me that 1/3 of them have almonds, and I want to know how many is that 1/3. So 1/3 is 1 out of 3. The denominator, the 3, tells me how many groups I'm going to have. So I'm going to split this into 3 groups. So there's 1 group of 3, 1 group of 3, and 1 group of 3. Now, 1 out of 3, my unit fraction means I want to talk about 1 out of these groups. How many are in that one group? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many of my chocolates have almonds? 5 of them have almonds. 5 have almonds. So this is the same as saying 1/3 of 15 is 5. And you're going to start seeing a pattern here. There's fact families and how the numbers are related. If you can start paying attention to that sooner, you're going to have an easier time. But the model of this is that the denominator tells us how many to group my picture into, and then I check how many are in one of those. So this lesson is just the unit fraction. So we'll do a few more. Get a piece of paper, try it out, and then check your work. So what if I had 1/3 of 12. So again, I'm going to draw my amount of items first. Okay. Then I need to say, okay, I group them into a group of 3. So here's a group of 3, a group of 3, and a group of 3. And then I need 1 out of those groups. How many are in there? There are 4. So 1/3 of 12 is 4. Try this one first. Draw the number of items, so you draw 18. So you can start thinking of the words in your head. I have 18. I'm dividing them into 6 groups. So how am I going to draw 6 groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1 out of those groups, how many are inside of 1? There's 3 in here, so 1/6 of 18 is 3. And again, start recognizing there's a pattern and some shortcuts that you can do without the modeling that you're going to get to eventually. Start with writing the amount first. I need 2 groups, so my 2 groups. I'm dividing my 6 into 2 groups, and then how many are in one of the groups? There are 3. Now with halves, you should start already really knowing halves really well. Half of 6. 6 cut into 2. 6 divided by 2. There's some clue things that are going to start happening with this part. So again, write it out, separate it into its groups, and then check how many are in that one group. There's 2 more. Try on your own and then check your work. 1/4 of 20. Start by drawing your 20 items. And then divide it into 4 groups. The denominator tells us the number of groups, so 20 divided into 4 groups. So here's one group, 2, 3, and 4. And my 1 out of the 4 tells me there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5. So 1/4 of 20. So if I have 20 things, 20 pieces of chocolate, and I want to eat 1/4 of them, how many am I eating? I'm eating 5 out of those 20 pieces of chocolate. Start by writing it down first. So I need to model 14. I know I need to have 7 groups. 14 divided into 7 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. A unit fraction, 1 out of the 7. 1 group out of the 7. There's 2 in here. So 1/7 of 14 is 2.